Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Collective. Come As You Are Collective? Maybe I should change the name. I hate it when readers always change their name like every 6 months, but that's kind of Come As You Are Collective because we are a collective, right? You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not, totally up to you. Today I'm going to do the Crow Collective for Sunday, May 17th, 2026. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog. I already said that. Take what resonates. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever doesn't, leave it on the table for someone else. You don't need to take on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use the Urban Crow, as always. I got this really cute deck. I started watching another reader probably like 2 weeks or so ago. Really great. And she's like, "Oh, my sister bought me this deck from this shop that was going out of business." And she didn't show the box, but she said the name. And I was like, "Oh, I wonder if I can find it on Amazon." And here it is. I got to cleanse it. I always do pre-shuffles, and sometimes I do pre-readings and I cleanse them and say my prayer and all that, but it's so cute. It's got little cards, little cats. It's so cute. All right. This is a bonus reading, basically, because I don't usually do readings on Sunday, but this morning I was like, I think I'm going to do a Crow Collective, and I might do a tarot. We got one on the table, two on the table. This one is kind of in reverse. We got three on the table, one in reverse. Someone is really focused on another person, or they're gonna be. Four on the table. Let's do two more shuffles. Six on the table. I don't like it. I really don't like it. And I just got like a little breathless. Almost of like I was like doing some light jogging or something where you kind of get a little huffy, a little puffy, but you're not quite out of breath. It's giving me heavy breather on the phone, if you know what I mean. I said I didn't like it. You didn't believe me, but I said I didn't like it. We got 7 with bottom of the deck. We've got preparation. Yeah, you think you're so funny. I just heard preparation H? Question mark? Routine. We got distraction in reverse. What's the opposite of distraction? Not distracted, that's for sure. We got insight. We've got territory, caching, and or hiding something. And risk, bottom of the deck. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. Somebody is preparing for something. This is I don't want to alarm people. I don't want to put that energy out there, but it's like somebody's it's giving me like stalker vibes and preparing to reveal themselves, whether it's on purpose or by accident. It could even be like a situation where like somebody is stalking someone and they drive past someone's house at night thinking like, oh, they're not going to come out, and maybe they park on the street and they're kind of sitting there with their windows rolled down, and then all of a sudden the person that they're stalking kind of walks by, does a double take, and is like, hey, what are you doing here? Like it get and that person's like, Because somebody with the distraction and reverse, the routine, the territory card, like somebody is focused on watching somebody throughout their day, throughout their life, really. They're hiding it as best they can. So, like, if they're stalking somebody online, they're probably doing it under a fake name, a fake profile. If they're stalking somebody in real life, it's probably more like from a distance, and it's um probably even not so much like stalking in real time, such as, like, okay, if they go to this grocery store every Saturday, let's say between 9 and noon, this stalker knows, like, okay, well, maybe I'll just go like around 10 or 11, hang out for about a half an hour, 40 minutes, see if I run into them, kind of thing. See if I see them. If they walk at like a forest preserve or in their neighborhood, maybe I'll drive around their neighborhood, at around noon and see if they're out there walking. It's like that kind of stalking. It's not really necessarily like sitting outside your door following you when you leave. It's obscure things that they do that's considered stalking. But like I said, either this person's going to get caught on purpose, like they want to get caught, or they're going to get caught on accident. And I think either way, that's more of like a divine intervention thing. Because no real stalker really wants to get caught on purpose. Somebody might, with the insight card, somebody might recognize the signs. And wasn't I just talking about something like this was it yesterday or the day before? Was it Friday? You guys know, if you follow, if you subscribe, if you've been with me since the beginning, you guys know a lot about my life. I talk about my life. I'm pretty open about my life. I'm pretty open about not being an angel and being reformed and all the crazy experiences that I've been through in my life. My belief in God and all that stuff. You guys know that. Um, and I think I've talked about it before, but I don't usually go into too much detail. But because of some of the things that have happened to me, more like not even necessarily the rapes and the assaults, but more like the supernatural things that I can't even explain. I have video cameras all over my home, in every room other than the bathrooms. Even though really I could put them in there. What's the difference? It's just me. I have a video camera in my garage. Like, I subscribe every month for security through my video camera. I have tasers. I have knuckle things. I have um, mace, all that kind of stuff. I was just talking to my dad today. I was hanging out with my dad this afternoon, and I told him next month I'm probably going to get a gun. I finally got my FOID card redone with my maiden name because I had to go back. So I had to restart, redo the whole thing. So I'm probably going to get a gun next month. My brother's going to help me out because he's a gun nut. And I just want one. I just, want it in a lockbox. Probably, in one of my drawers in my bedroom for safekeeping. You know, probably not in my drawer since I just said that, but you know what I mean. I told my dad, I said, I need a couple of good baseball bats from Dick's and a machete and a katana. But I'm very big on like self protection, and I'm very big on paying attention to my surroundings. Um, I was just talking about it, I think it was yesterday, about almost being kidnapped at Southport Marina in Kenosha. In I can't remember, you guys. It was 2023 or 2024. I seriously can't remember. I It might have been 2023. It might have been 2020. I don't know. It was probably 2023. I think yesterday I said 2024, but I think it was probably 2023. Because I got my speeding ticket the same month at the end, like at the middle end of the month. It was the blue moon, and I went with my friend to watch it in Winthrop Harbor in the evening, and I got my ticket the next day driving to work because I was trying to get away from someone that was drunk or half asleep on the road. They were all over the road. It was ridiculous. I got the speeding ticket because I sped up to get around them. That lucky bastard kept going and probably could have crashed behind the wheel at some point. I think it was 2023 because I was on probation for 6 months, 9 months. They put me on probation. And then supposedly they were going to take it off my record because I had never had a ticket. But yeah, I'm big on protection because of what happened to me at Southport. Because at the time I didn't have anything on me to protect me other than 2 legs, 2 fists, and my wits. And that's fine, like if you can pop somebody. I mean, I don't give a shit. I would have beat the hell out of them if they had grabbed me or touched me. It didn't get to that point, but I don't want to scare anybody with this. I would just rather people take precaution and do some of the things that I said that I do. Mace, that kind of thing. Maybe go get yourself a nice baseball bat, put it in your car, put one by your front door, maybe. Make sure you have a deadbolt on your home at every entrance, exit. Like I wouldn't. If you don't feel the need to do cameras, don't do cameras. Like I'm just over. Like I said, I've had a lot of weird things happen to me, especially here in my home that I couldn't explain. So that's why I got the cameras. But I'm just saying, maybe take precautions and protect yourself. Now that it's summer, hopefully you're going to be outside more, right? I would love that for you guys. Get out and walk and earth and all ground and all that stuff, and soak up some vitamin D. A little bit is okay. You'll be fine. Just use some sunscreen, get some vitamin D. I would get a little vitamin D and then put on the sunscreen and then sit out a little bit longer. Just my advice. I was watching a TikTok video today. She was talking about how the US tells everybody, "Oh, don't sit out in the sun. Don't go outside." You notice how in the summer nobody's outside? Nobody goes outside. And this lady's like, "Fuck that. I go outside. I get myself my vitamin D. It boosts everything within you." And everybody's like, "Oh no, don't sit out in the sun. It kills your cells." Really? Because it's not what it's supposed to do. I understand skin cancer, but you got to watch tanning beds too, because they cause skin cancer too, especially overuse. I don't know. I usually don't sit outside any longer than an hour and a half to 2 hours. And I know you probably think that's a lot, but really it's usually not. You're talking about cloud cover sun. It's probably more like 45 minutes to an hour worth of sun, and the rest is clouds. I don't know where I was going with that, but everything is a lie, apparently. This is not a lie. This is a cautionary reading for people to protect themselves. So I just want people to, like I said, take a little precaution. Because whoever this is with this risk card, they don't give a shit if it's a risk. Like I said, like I'm literally seeing somebody like sitting out on the street in their car, and the person walks by and they're like, so and so. Like, why are you sitting on my street? What are you doing out here? And it's kind of like getting that feeling, like that ick feeling, like, ooh, I should turn around and run. You know what I mean? Like this can't be good. And whoever this is, like, they don't give a fuck. They don't. This is someone not with it. Like I said, it was like heavy breathing, like when you get those phone calls, and it's a heavy breather on the other end. You know what's funny too, now that I'm thinking about it? Like, I remember being a kid, 80s, 90s, right? Because I was a kid in the 80s, I was a teenager in the 90s. I graduated in 98 from high school. I remember getting tons of heavy breathing phone calls. And not me, but our home phone, right? Like, we didn't have our own phones back then, but it was our home phone. And, you'd pick up the phone and you'd be like, well, my last name is Brown. So Brown's residence. And I always said that. My dad always said that. My mom always said that. My brother would pick up the phone and he'd go, Chris. And my mom would be like, damn it. don't don't say your name. Oh my god, my brother was hilarious. My brother didn't care. He still doesn't care. That's what makes him so great, honestly. Um but yeah, you pick up the phone, you say Brown's residence, and you just hear like okay, I guarantee you that after like 2000, definitely after 2005, definitely after 2005, for sure, I can say never got a heavy breathing phone call. Definitely. If not around 2000. No fucking heavy breathing phone calls. Did they all give up? Did the perverts all give up? I know that sounds horrible to say, but it's true. Like, I guess they're out there, they're doing worse things now. I mean, they probably were doing worse things at the time, just nobody knew. It's crazy. And now we all have cell phones, so the odds of getting a heavy breathing phone call is like slim to none. Like 0.00001 tenth of a percent. Usually you just get those recording calls where it's supposed to be a recording and you hear like the click in the beginning of the message, but then nothing plays and then it clicks and then you hear a dial tone because it didn't work. And you wonder, like, who the hell set up that? Yeah, I'm not gonna talk anymore about this because I don't want to put this I don't want to put any more of this out there than I have to, other than to say, um, take precautions for yourself. Be aware of your surroundings always. Like I said, when I was watched at Southport Marina, when I almost got attacked, um, it was early in the morning for sunrise. It was just sun was just starting to come up. It was still dark. There are boats. This was in August. This was the end of the summer. There are still tons of boats in that marina in August. Even like through September. People live on those boats at Southport Marina in Kenosha. They live on them for the summer. Older people, younger people, families, people with dogs get up and walk their dogs early in the morning. I was not the only person on that beach at that marina. There were other people walking around. And by the time I walked around back to the parking lot and got to my car, the sun had already started to rise. It was light out. There were people coming from the other direction. And this the one guy that followed me, the one guy stayed at it's like kind of like a rotunda right there on the lake by Lake Michigan. And the other guy followed me and was trying to talk to me and wanted me to walk down the steps with him to the lake. Literally boats right there. Like, if he had pushed me into the water to try and drown me or subdue me or crack my head against the wall, somebody would have seen and or heard the scuffle. There were people there. Like, he would have had to have been really fucking ballsy to think that he would just be able to walk out of there with my lifeless body. And I really think he thought he was gonna. And you also got to remember, you're talking 2023, even 2024. I was 50, 60 pounds heavier than I am now. I was still technically almost 300 pounds. I was like 275, 280, somewhere in there. I was always yo-yoing back and forth. So I was heavier then. And this man who was probably, he was taller, probably like 200, 220 pounds maybe, dark hair. He's like, you're going to drag me to your van, to your car? You're going to wait for the other guy to come? The other guy was older. But I knew they were working together. I could tell they were working together. Just be aware of your surroundings when you're out and about. Again, especially in the summer, because you're out there having fun and you're not really thinking about it, but other people are out there doing their jobs. And sadly, not everybody has a good job. I'm going to leave that there. I hope it resonates. I hope it doesn't resonate. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were entertained by Kim's Storytime Hour. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your Sunday, rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you later.